everybody, welcome back to Butler's Garageless X, and today we're finishing up the front brake job we're doing on the Suburban. I've already done the left side, replaced the rotors and new brake pads with I can't remember what brand of rotor. It's not really their own. Pretty much every rotor you're going to buy is going to be an OEM and stop tech rotors. Okay. But anyway, what they do is they take an OEM, brand new, and then they'll put slots or drill holes or a mixture of both in them, and they repackage them and sell it to you like that. Now, some companies take it a step further, and they'll actually cryogenically freeze these. I think the company is called Frozen that will do that. They cryogenically freeze the rotors and make them even harder. So those are pretty good rotors, usually race applications, but not too bad to do on the street either. But however, stop tech's not bad either, pretty good for the money. Got this one done. Taking these wheels off is a little bit of an adventure. What you gotta do is remove these plastic nuts, and they're just nut covers, and under them is your studs and your actual bolts. Right here, these special nuts, they have threads on the outside to let your plastic bolts go on top. They're all right. They kind of dress up the wheel a little bit, but it's just an extra step to remove them. And right here, folks, this is why you work on your own damn crap. Look how chewed up this bolt is. Focus. Let's grab another one here. You can see where just brake shops just sit on the impact and chew up all these bolts. And these things are actually kind of expensive, and there's 6 per wheel, so you know you're looking at what, 24 total if you have to replace these. And they're not easy to find in the auto stores. You pretty much have to order them online. And then as much as that goes, here's the plastic ones that go over the nut. I've seen idiots torque these down too with an impact. These you want to remove by hand. These are also special order. And another reason why you work on your own damn stuff is because shops are busy and or negligent. This is what happens. They forget to put on some, or they don't tighten them down enough, and they fly off somewhere on the road. So now you look really stupid, once I pointed it out, going down the road, where it parks at least. So there's that. Up next is the rotor for this one, and new brake pads. The brake pads on the other side were actually not too bad. They had quite a bit of life on them. Where the hell are they? Oh, here's one. Here they are. You can see the good amount of life on them. Problem is, these are one of these like super long life pads, and honestly, they don't really break that great. So Hawk ceramic pads it is. They're not the world's best pads either. They're actually far better out there, but for the money and availability, you can't really go wrong with Hawk. So onto that, and once I get this done, we'll bleed the brakes. I actually had to take this to a shop to install new bolts here, because they actually had giant Torx bolts and they immediately stripped out naturally. So I took it to a brake shop. I got a new bolt kit. I had them cut the old ones off and put on the new ones, that way I could work on it. And while they were at it, I had them unseize the bleeder lines. That way I can bleed easier, because I was trying to do on the back one, and it's starting to strip, and I got scared. All right, I'll be back. Just a quick tip for you guys: when you're putting on new rotors, usually the rotor's gonna be pretty loose once you've got everything beaten off. Anyway, I didn't really need to do that. The rotor just literally fell right off. But take a couple of lugs, or lug nuts, and put them on, just finger tight. That way you hold it in place, so when you go to mount the shoe bracket back on, that'll hold your brake pads. This won't be wiggling around, flop around, and it'll be held in place appropriately. So just a quick tip, that'll help speed things up pretty good for you. Alright, currently bleeding the brakes here, and that, I don't know if you can see it too well, that is the color of my brake fluid, which is no bueno. Should be this color. Oh, that's the new bottle. Oops. Where's the old bottle? Oh, there it is. Let's see here. Should be this color. Well, of course you can't see that. You can kind of see it, but it's supposed to be a nice gold, not a dark green with deposits. This is slightly alarming. Let's see here. Usually you want to keep your power bleeder at a little above 15 psi. And it's going slowly but surely. I got my bottle down here. If you don't have a power bleeder, I highly recommend it. It'll be your best friend. And yeah, let's get up there. It's currently connected to the nipple, and it's just draining in there via vacuum. So I'll wait until it gets above that sticker label, and then I'll dump it into my old hydraulic bucket. What sucks is where I live in Virginia, the waste management doesn't have a fluid deposit station, and so I gotta wait around and look at calendars and stuff to when they'll set up this, like, they call it like a home waste collection or some crap like that. I don't know, I might as well just hold on to it, haul it down to South Carolina when it gets full, because their dumps, they take everything. Well, the one where it's located in Charleston, they'll literally take every fluid. So got a proper bucket here, got it properly labeled. I think they'll like that. So all right, moving on. This is going to take a little bit. It already has taken a little bit, mainly because it's the furthest away, and we're dealing with a goddamn Suburban. So lots and lots of fluid. And speaking of that, I'm going to go check on the brake booster. All right. Today we're going to replace the steering wheel. There's nothing really wrong with it. It works fine. Buttons work good and all, but the problem is they're old, they're chewed up, and the steering wheel leather is super shiny and smooth, and I don't really like it. So I got a brand new one, OEM, straight from a GM parts website, and it actually came with buttons, and it's leather wrapped. I think it was like 120 bucks. Not too bad for a brand new leather wrapped steering wheel with buttons. That's a pretty damn good deal. So I jumped on it and replaced this old steering wheel. Let's see, it looks like it's threading's coming out too. What I'll probably do is just throw this on eBay and start at $1 plus, I don't know, 10-15 bucks shipping, and it can go to a good home, whoever wants it. I'm going to reuse the steering wheel airbag. I should have probably gotten a new clock spring for this, but I mean, it's so easy to get into this, replace it if I need to. I'm not going to worry about it. I've already disconnected the battery down in there, and I'm going to wait about 15 minutes so it's to properly discharge, because believe me, you do not want an airbag going off in your face or on your hands. It'll break your arms, no problem. All right, I'll see you in a sec. While I'm swapping out the steering wheel, I'm also going to be fixing a problem that a lot of Tahoe, Suburban, GM truck owners suffer from with these digital HVAC control systems. Is the contacts get dirty or a little worn out inside of here. So what happens is when you try to turn the temperature up or down, the numbers will jump all over the place. So you could be trying to get the heat, but it just keeps going down, down, down. You try to turn it left a little bit, it goes 2 up. It's really bizarre, and it's a huge pain in the ass. So what we're going to do is take some contact cleaner, which is, you know, like electrical cleaner. It's perfectly safe to spray inside this kind of thing. I am currently disassembling this. Just the front plate is what I'm going to try to remove and try to get into these contacts here, clean them up, and hit up a little bit of wire brush, so it should take care of them pretty nicely. Alright, so I've taken my cleaner and I sprayed it right in there as best as I could, and then I reinstalled the caps briefly. I've just been twisting them around a little bit, kind of get it down in there, and to clean it up a little bit as best I can. Looks like these are kind of like little potentiometers or pots or something. I'm not really huge in electrical, but I know it looks like it seems to be just if you know the part number or can get another replacement, it's just a quick solder job. I'm not going that far. I'd much rather just buy a whole new unit, but that's just me. Sometimes I don't get too down dirty, but then again, I tend to do that too as well. Anyway, so I'm just going to flip this back upside down, make sure any residual spray in there might be dripping out or whatever. I didn't go too overboard with it, but I try to be careful and also as generous as I could. Another thing I'm going to try to knock out real quick is this AVIX 7200 Nex has CarPlay, And with the recent advent of Waze showing up on iOS Carplay, I'm going to wire that up. Now, I originally have a USB cord wired up already, but the problem with this unit is one of the two inputs is used for smartphone features like CarPlay. And I guess initially I did the wrong input and I've been kind of frustrated with that, but now I've got the excuse and I'm going back in. So what I found online was a really nifty device. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called. I'll pop it into the video of the name of it. You just get your Dremel, find a spot in your truck wherever you want, and this will literally clip right in and make a nice little flush USB port. I'm likely going to put it in there. And the other end's got 2 ends, so it appears to be USB 3.0 capable. I don't know if that matters. I know it doesn't matter with this, but I guess if you're going to use this for another application, that may or may not matter. I'm kind of a computer nerd, but not that much of a knowledgeable computer nerd, I would say. I'm just more of a superpower user, if you want to call it that. Alright, I just got the steering wheel off. First, I highly recommend you rent a steering wheel puller kit, because I wiggled and jiggled and pulled and tugged, and I finally got it free, but as soon as I tugged, I was able to stop just in time because I went far enough out to where it almost yanked on the clock spring assembly and the cords that go to it. That would be pretty bad. And of course the buttons for the steering wheel. Anyway, it's off. So I'm gonna swap out the new one and then plug it back in. There we go, boys and girls. Brand new steering wheel on. That went on pretty easily. Once I clip that back in, the way I took it out is you fold it down and slowly pull it out and then pull the clips out. I just literally reversed that method. These two big locking pins will lock and pop right on it, and it'll be good to go. Yeah, horn works. Volume, I haven't verified volume in Seek track select yet because I just connected the battery to my radio reset, which is fine. I've been wanting to reset that anyway for other settings that can't really figure out once it's been set up. Like the way the navigation works, it drives me nuts. I like navigation frozen pointing toward north, and then it shows whatever direction the car is pointing in. It was currently set up as just the car always pointed north and the whole map spun around, which I hate because it doesn't give you a good orientation of which direction you're heading, up or down, and it's really confusing for me personally. Never mind that check engine light, that's just a common MAF sensor issue. I clear it once every couple of weeks. I really need to replace the sensor, but that is just at the bottom of my list, and it's just a stupid little gremlin, so I'm not too worried about it. And let's see here, do lights work? They sure do. Alright, cool. Well, let's see here, let's test this. Test the fuel gauge. Alright, that works. Okay. Ooh, I should change that soon. Probably, gosh, I like to do it before I do my big road trip. Maybe I'll do it when I come back. $0. Okay. Oh, that works. What's this crap? Alright, that works. Cool. Cool beans. Next, which I'm not going to do this episode, is I'm going to fix the oil pressure cinder gauge. That is mounted right behind the block on top of the transmission tunnel. I don't think it's actually in the transmission, but it's a giant pain in the ass to get to, and the engine's still hot, and it's getting, it's starting to get dark here. I'm not going to fool with it. I really would like that working soon because that's a really critical gauge. I'd rather have that than the other two, the battery and the coolant personally, because the oil gauge, the pressure gauge is really important if you lose oil pressure. Because I keep an eye on it, considering that this truck has 191,992,000 miles, and she is still going strong, boys. We'll see if we can get her to 250. I doubt it, but we'll try. The engine doesn't really give me any troubles. It doesn't burn oil either. That's what's awesome. You know, old trusty, man. I tell you, take care of these things and they'll take care of you. That's a fact, and this is coming from a Ford guy. GM built these Chevy Tahoe variants really damn well, minus stupid trim pieces and stuff. But mechanically, these things are built really freaking well. I can't say enough praise about them. Anyway, I'm going to next get this here. Yeah, so I'm gonna fix that. I'm still working on it. I'm going to replace this bow tie because it's old, gross, and damaged and cracked. Got brand new one in the house, and I'll get to it. Okay, now to replacing this bow tie. So what you got to do is remove this shroud here. You're going to pop this, this, and that off, which will expose some bolts down here. And there's some down here, but whoever's been in here before, it's actually down there in the crack. Whoever's been here before didn't bother to reinstall those, so this will be pretty quick for me. And this literally clips on with 2 prongs like that. Focus. Focus. 2 prongs like that, and it pops out, and you just pop the new one. Just a quick update. I can't really get any light on it, but this is not a bolt. It's just like a plastic Phillips head, and you twist it, and it'll come out. Although this is a bolt that appears to be 10 millimeter, what you're gonna need. And I think the plastic pieces are down here too. It's all the same. But actually, now I'm looking at it, I probably won't need to remove it any further. I'm gonna go get my arm down nails. Oh, another thing, this is metal tabbed in right here. So you just get your plastic tool out, little pry tool, and give it a yank. And that's all she wrote. Getting really dark out here, but the camera actually shows pretty good light. Anyway, show you the difference between old and busted and new hotness. What time does to plastics. There's no bringing this one back. So a lot more lustrous gold. But anyway, we'll pop it right on and button her all back up.